Hey guys, Tony here from Barlow Roots. It's been a while since we've given you a tour of the homestead, so I thought maybe I'd take some time to do that this morning. It is spring, late May right now, and we've got a lot going on. It's a busy time of year here for sure. So let's take you give you a little walk around and show you what we've got going on the homestead here. So this is our chicken layers here. We built this high tunnel for them last fall, and they spent the winter in it. Right now we've got the side rolled up to keep it cool in there, and it's working really good. It worked great all winter, and now as we've gone into summer it's working awesome as well. We've got about 90 to 100 hens in here. It looks like scorched earth. That's kind of what chickens do to land, but we've been bringing in some organic vegetables from a grocery store and figuring out other stuff that we can give them, grass clippings, old leaves to compost, and things like that to keep them busy. You can see inside there we've got our rollaway nest box, which is working awesome. Full of hens right now. We are getting about 80 eggs, 70 to 80 eggs a day from the hens. So it's working really well. Really happy with the high tunnel system. This is our new addition is our goats, and this is their area. We are going to build a little bit better structure for them over the winter, but for right now they're in our old chicken coop and it's working just fine. But for the time when we will need to be ready for kids, baby goats, we want to have a little bit better structure. So the way we did this is we've got the pigs and the goats in the same area, but we've got you can maybe see it, there's a wire fence there running around a small boundary here for the goats, and then we've got 2 lines of electric fence. This is where Ingrid is milking the goats. She's got a little milking stand there, and that's working great. We're getting about 1 gallon a day from our goats, so really happy with that. And so this is how we keep the pigs out of the goat areas. We've just got 2 lines of electric there, and the goats just hop over it, but the pigs of course respect the electric. So we continue to have 2 lines of electric running inside of our nice woven wire fence, and that keeps things really pretty secure. So there's one of our goats, that's S'more, and the other goat is Butters. These are Nubian goats, and again each of them gives us about 2 quarts a day, so it works really well. We've got the pigs in this area. So keeping goats and pigs together is a little challenging. I'm just going to let the pigs out because we don't want the goats to be eating the pig food. So we're feeding the pigs in this area, and then they get out and go and roam around in their pasture, and then we're keeping the goats out. The goats come in and do a little cleanup at the end of the day when they're done feeding. But the pigs do a pretty good job of cleaning out all the feed. And here they are resting after eating this morning. So it's worked out really well, feeding the pigs separate, and then having the goats have their own separate area as well. We've been clearing a lot of brush in our pasture. It is a huge work in progress. This is a pile I need to burn or take care of or do something with at some point. It's a lot of work. This area looked just like this 2 years ago, and so clearing trees, clearing brush, and figuring out what to do with all of it is hard. It's a challenge. So you either burn it or you chip it, or you just pile it up and leave it for another time. So there's an area back there where I took down about 2 dozen old dead red pine trees. The red pines were just planted too close together, so took those down, and now that's where they lay until I figure out what to do with them next. We do free range the goats out in these areas here, and they love coming out here. We're going to get another electric net fence for them so that we can put them out in some of these areas on a more regular basis. All right, let's walk next door to the garden. All right, so here is the garden and orchard. First thing I'll show you is we've got a new high tunnel going in. Not this last winter, but the winter before, this high tunnel actually collapsed under snow load. And we, this spring, put it back together. So we bent all the poles back into shape as best we can. They're not perfect, but then we got it put back together. There's Bergen. So got the hip boards on, the base boards on. Just a couple steps left and we will be ready to pull plastic. We couldn't wait, so we got plants in the ground here. Peppers, cucumbers, zucchini, peas, a couple types of green beans I think are all going in here. So, and then on the outside of the high tunnel on that side, we've got 3 or 4 more beds where we'll do some fall squash. Elderberries planted here. These are just on their 2nd year, but they're looking really good. The apple orchard is looking awesome. We put in 6 new trees this year. So this one is flowering. We probably won't let it produce apples on its 1st year here, but good to see them flowering. And this was an experimental prune, so this is how all the trees came. And we took 2 of the trees, actually 3 of them, and cut them off right there. And that was very nerve-wracking, but you can see starting to bud out and leaf out there, and we'll have nice low branches on these trees, which is what we want. The other larger apple trees are flowering, and we are looking forward to having a few apples this year from them. Cherry trees flowered really nice as well, and we're hoping for some cherries. We're fighting some pests in our cherry orchard. Yeah, it's a weird fruit fly that is causing some big issues. So I'll show you the tomato high tunnel, and then we'll finish up in the salad beds. So here's our tomato high tunnel, which looks really good. We've got about 300 plants in here this year. We lost about 80 of them to frost, a late frost. Some of them still look pretty rough, but they're coming back. We're hopeful. So, and the other 80, we had some extra plants. My sister-in-law gave us some plants, and we bought a few plants as well. We've got kale planted in here as well, that we'll be picking from and clearing out eventually, because it's just going to get too warm in here for the kale. So we'll head through this high tunnel. Roll-up sides are up late May here. Right through the high tunnel there, you can see we've got some kale and Swiss chard growing. Also onions, leeks, and potatoes are in those beds as well. I think some beets and carrots too. So excited to have our tomatoes in the ground. Here's the next round of salad ready to get in the ground. We've got some broccoli and spinach here, garlic there, strawberries there, and that far bed is, I think, a mix of different brassicas, some cabbages and stuff. Here's our herb bed in the closer, and then the far bed is going to be all flowers. And here's our lettuce beds. There's Ingrid working. So we've got salad greens, spinach, head lettuce, and some mesclun mix as well. So those are looking really good. So thanks guys for checking out this video here at Barlow Roots. Again, it's a busy time of year, but we are loving it and loving the warm weather. It's been a really nice spring, except for that cold stretch we had with a little bit of frost. It's been really good. Bergen trying some lettuce for breakfast. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.